I got to say up front, to have a podcast after being in ministry for 26 years is kind of crazy, because literally this is the only space I've ever walked into and not had to know what I was going to say, right? You get called to preach somewhere, you better know what you're going to say, right? And it better be something God told you to say, right? You shouldn't be making it up. So dude, to be here and to literally get here, I guess there's way more professional podcasters than me that are like, they've researched all week and they already have like 6 or 7 things that they want to cover. This is the basement. In the basement, we just do life together. Like literally, if you're subscribing to this podcast, you've just subscribed to do life with me on a level that I would do it with you if we had proximity and access in time. I don't have that time, which is why I started this podcast. Now that we had this podcast, we get to vibe together in a way that we would never be able to vibe in any other way. Like, unless we were all in the same room doing life together, we wouldn't be able to do it. Since we can't do that, I started this podcast because, like I said in episode 1, everybody wants to know, hey, how can I get on your calendar? How can I be mentored? Can you disciple me? All this kind of stuff. And it's like, listen, I don't have that bandwidth. I don't have those margins. But guess what? In this podcast, you're going to learn stuff about me, stuff about us that you're never going to learn if you heard me do 100 sermons, right? Like, everybody knows my testimony by now. I was sexually abused when I was 8 years old. I got into pornography when I was 12. I was full-blown porn addict by the time I was 19. Highly promiscuous. Like, life was just off the chains. Low self-esteem. I was a incessant people pleaser. Like, it was dark nasty. You know what I'm saying? Dark nasty. Then I gave my life to Jesus January 14th of 1996. And my whole life changed. And I'm literally still not over my salvation experience. Like, point blank period. Like, I know a lot of people can, like, make it roll off the top of their tongue. Like, oh yeah, I gave my life to Jesus. And bro, I can't even talk about it without getting emotional. Like, I'm just glad there's tissue here, because I legit might start crying right now. But I mean, I did not get into ministry because of money. I didn't get into ministry because of platforms. I didn't get into ministry because of reputation, influence. I gave my life to Jesus. Like, bro, if I was a mailman right now, I'd be the happiest mailman in the whole wide world, because I have a relationship with Jesus. If I was a doctor right now, I'd be the happiest doctor in the world, because I have a relationship with Jesus. So I did not give my life to Jesus to become a preacher, right? Some people are like, I'll take Jesus if you give me a dope position in the kingdom, right? Right? And we think all the dope positions are, apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher. Like, if you give me something big to do for you, nah, man, he did something big for us. And the big thing he did for us is he saved our lives and then gave us a better way of living our lives after he saved it. It's one thing to be rescued. It's another thing to be rescued and then told how to live better after you get rescued. What? Are you kidding me right now? That's Jesus. Dude, let that sink in for a minute. I just think this is gold up front. This is why I love coming in here and not knowing what I'm going to talk about. I just said something I have never said before. Episode 2, y'all are already getting gold. I never said this before in my life. Dude, it's one thing to be rescued. We'd all take saving, right? It's another thing for the guy that saved you to then tell you, I know how you can never drown again. I know how you can never fall into a ditch again, right? Not only am I going to save you, I'm going to teach you a better way to live your life, bro. That's Jesus. So, yeah, like, since 96, he's been giving me better ways to live my life. And that has nothing to do with preaching, which is why I believe this platform is so important.
When you sit down with someone and they are wanting to be mentored by you, is there a specific question that's usually like the first thing that they ask? Like, Tim, seriously, how can you help me with XYZ?
Yeah.
Is there one like topic that usually comes up immediately and you're just like, oh, here we go again?
Yeah. What I will say, and this is no disrespect to anybody that I've mentored or anybody that has asked me questions before, but I would say 97% of the people that have ever asked me to mentor them, they start off asking me the wrong questions. Like literally the questions that they ask is, I'm like, bro, you have no idea, sis. You literally have no idea what you're asking. This is inconsequential to your entire life. You're asking me about ministry right now. Stop it. It's a joke. You're asking me about sermon prep right now. Stop it. It's a joke. You're literally asking me about like, hey, how do I navigate ministry? And like, how did you get to the place where you are, where God just opened these doors? And I'm like, fam, you are asking me the wrong questions. And it's not your fault, right? Because Western Christianity is America has jacked people up. America has this infatuation with celebrity. They have to have an idol, right? Because we were designed to be worshiped. And in the absence of God, you're going to worship something. So you worship a personality, or you worship a style, or you worship a genre, or whatever. And so all these people that give their life to Jesus, guess where they came from? They came from the world. They came from society. They came from a secular way of thinking. So they come in here with that worldview, and guess what they turn their pastor into? A celebrity. They associate everybody that hits that platform with that. That's what I have to get to. That's the standard, right? If I want to be an actor, Brad Pitt is my standard, right? What if you were only going to be an extra? What if they're never going to cast you to be top billing in a movie? Then you think your life sucks, right? So like trying to get people that, especially that get into ministry, like, hey, I want mentorship. No, what you really want is a path to get to where I am. And I can't guarantee you that, because he never guaranteed me that. Let's go deeper. I never asked. That's how I know the questions are completely crazy, right? And again, no disrespect. You start where you start. But the first thing I have to do when I start mentoring somebody is literally dismantling what they think they're going to get from me. Because what you think you're going to get from me, you ain't getting that. Right? I can't hand you a gift. I can't hand you the gift he gave me, because I didn't make it. He gave it to me. Right? When people ask me, hey, can you teach me how to preach? I can teach you how to be a better preacher the way you preach. I can't teach you how to preach like me. Why would you want to live the rest of your life as a carbon copy of me? You would suck. The carbon copy of Tim Ross is trash. I don't want to see that guy. That wouldn't even flatter me if somebody was trying to be a cheap imitation of me, right? Because then we miss Sam, right? I want to know who Sam is. I don't want to know who Sam is trying to be Tim, right? That only works in movies, right? That only works when Denzel Washington is playing Malcolm X. We're like, bravo, y'all didn't get the skin tone right, but yay, Denzel, great job, right? Based on a true story, right? We're gonna have, was it Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch? What's Mark's last name? Boston guy.
Mark Wahlberg.
That dude. Wahlberg just missed me, right? So didn't Mark Wahlberg play the lone survivor? Was that him?
Wait. Yeah.
That was him, right? That was him. Great movie, right?
And Johnny Depp was his assistant, or the Robin to his Batman.
In the Lone Survivor? No. Johnny Depp wasn't.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
I was about to say, bro, they must have did a part 2. What? Johnny Depp and Mark Wahlberg. I was about to say, that's Lone Caribbean. That's you just mashed 2 great movies together. Lone Caribbean. That was Pirates of the Survivor. That's what movie you just made us watch in our heads. Johnny Depp.
So going off of the mentees that ask you these questions.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like they're missing it?
Well, they're missing it because overall the church is missing it, right? We're like pumping gifts and talents, and we keep telling the church. I'm talking about Big C Church, so I'm going to say we, right? I don't specifically do it, but I'm going to say we. I don't want to say they, right? Big C Church, we keep selling people like America's version of success. God's going to do something great with your life. Great is relative, right? But left to our own imagination, great is like, well, then I'm going to be you. Or I'll probably be better than you, right? And then you mix that up with some like really bad theology, like Jesus saying greater work shall you do. So then you got a neophyte that really hasn't been discipled that takes greater works. And then you said they were going to be great. So then we're thinking I'm going to be greater than you. And the end result is, yeah, I'll be great once I have more members than you. I'll be great when I have as many followers or more than you. I'll be great when I have as many engagements or more than yours. And what if great just meant you're going to be greater than your parents because you broke a generational curse? And you'll also work for, Pfizer for 22 years and your retirement benefits and game over, right? Be faithful to your spouse and yay. What if that's greatness for you? But we just keep throwing out these words and people are walking away with 50 different interpretations of what great means. And then they wind up depressed when their idealized version of greatness never materialized. Then we blame God, then we hate the church, and then we're like, God, how come I haven't seen the breakthrough yet? And he's like, you had one 4 years ago. Yeah, but I ain't married yet. I didn't. Who said that? You said that. I didn't say that. But I don't live in Highland Park yet. People are watching all over. I don't live in the wealthy neighborhood yet, right? People are like, where is Highland Park? So we're in DFW, peeps. So all of my references are, when you read the Bible, you don't even know where Jerusalem is, right? You can't even find Galilee. So Highland Park, right? That's what we're talking about. So literally in my mind, I have to dismantle what they think greatness looks like. I literally have to break down and go, bro, sis, you're asking questions and I know you think if you get the answer to these questions that you're going to go away and in 36 months you're going to be me or pass me or whatever. And I'm not sure you're prepared to talk about what I want to talk about. And because what I want to talk about is your heart. What I want to talk about is your motives. What I want to talk about is your intent. What I want to talk about is if God does nothing else for you, are you okay with that? What I want to talk about is not your giftings. God gave you your gift. I can't do anything to enhance your gift. That's a gift. Gifts are given without repentance. God gives you a gift, it's yours. But I'm here for your weaknesses. I'm going to tell you how not to mess this up. I'm going to tell you how to do this 26 years and counting without messing this up. I'm going to tell you how to get through this without a public scandal. I'm going to tell you how to tell on yourself. I'm going to tell you how to be vulnerable. I'm going to tell you how to be transparent. I'm going to tell you to call your own fouls. That's what I'm going to tell you. That ain't sexy. That ain't glamorous. I didn't just help you get better at your next sermon. I can give you 5 tips on communicating. I've been communicating. That's what I do for a living. This is not what this is about. Name me anything you see in the 4 Gospels that ended with Peter having techniques on sermon prep. Find me a verse. Hey, this is when you do parables. I want you to do, stories, man. People are into stories, bro. Like if you get the right story, you hook them. Maybe if your eyes get moist, when you drive home a point, man, just give that pregnant pause. May even want to give her a little quivering lip. I can't even say it. Maybe if your bottom lip quivers, and you just say, and the Lord wants to do the same for you. And then right after that, man, altar call. That sounds dope, right? It's manipulation. I just taught you how to manipulate a whole room. Why would I do that? If real emotion doesn't come, don't fake it. Because after your 7th sermon, I'll know, oh, quiver lip is coming. He's learned how to cry on command. No different than Brad Pitt. So now we got actors in the pulpit. Yeah. Y'all stick with me. Y'all gonna learn all the tips.